President Trump appears to be using the deadly terror attack in London to push his proposed travel ban. In the direct aftermath of the attack, the president tweeted, quote, "We need to be smart, vigilant, and tough. We need the courts to give us back our rights. We need the travel ban as an extra level of safety." And then this morning, the president said this, quote, "The Justice Department should have stayed with the original travel ban, not the watered down, politically correct version they submitted to the Supreme Court." He went on to say that the Justice Department should ask for an expedited hearing of the watered down travel ban before the Supreme Court and seek much tougher version. Let's bring in Washington Post political reporter Amber Phillips. She joins us now from Washington. So Amber, give our viewers some context here. Where do things stand in the courts right now as it regards to the president's ban, and what exactly is he proposing with these tweets?
Yeah, so right now a bunch of federal courts, lower district courts and appeals courts have decided that Trump's ban should be paused, while the separate issue of whether this ban is discriminatory in an unconstitutional way gets worked out. We've now reached to the point where it's up to the Supreme Court to decide two things. Is the ban actually constitutional or not? The Trump administration has asked them to really look at it as soon as this summer, which sounds like a long time away, but for the Supreme Court, that's a fast turnaround. That probably won't happen anytime soon. We won't get an answer to that. What we could get an answer to in the next few weeks is that second question: is or should this ban be paused while we look at whether it's potentially discriminatory? Or is there a reason the government is making that is legally sound to keep this ban in place while we look at whether it's constitutional? I was just going to say, you asked another question on what Trump is trying to propose with these tweets. It's not really clear. He doesn't seem to agree with his lawyers who are arguing the second ban, that this second ban is enough to keep America safe. He seems to want something more.
Yeah, I mean, and I wonder, Amber, if you're hearing from your sources that the president's lawyers or others in the administration are sort of tearing their hair out because the president is seemingly undermining something that they've been trying to do for the last couple of weeks, last couple of months, which is to say that this is not a, quote, travel ban.
Yeah, I talked to a former government lawyer in another administration who says they probably are pulling their hair out, so that the president has basically kneecapped his lawyers. He's in a couple different ways. He's essentially separating himself from the ban and from these lawyers and from their legal strategy in a way that raises the question for these Supreme Court justices. If they're listening to this lawyer in front of them say this is what the president wants, they can look at these tweets and go, wait a second, but the president says he doesn't want any of this. Are you really speaking for the president?
You know, it's also interesting, Amber, the president at one point saying that he prefers the first iteration of this ban, which he says the second one is sort of the politically correct version. In a way, if you're a lawyer, you could go back and argue, look, the president is saying that the first version is the one that he likes. He says it's the one that's he's inferring that it's politically incorrect, which a lot of people would take to mean that means he wants to ban Muslims.
Exactly. That's like the second major legal issue that the president is handing his legal team right now. Essentially, when he says anything that's slightly inflammatory or political in nature, like the political correctness thing, or it's a travel ban in all caps, he is opening the door up for the courts to look at everything he's ever said about Muslims, about travel, about immigration, about terrorism, about religion. And a legal expert I spoke to, a nonpartisan one, said the case really isn't good for the president, that when he says, oh, this is too politically correct, he would prefer something that would legally hold up. You know, what to him is okay if this is too politically correct. So in a way, he's kind of opening up everything he's ever said before for the judges to look at. And lower courts have decided that's totally fair game to look at that as evidence.
All right, Amber, let's continue to look at the president's Twitter feed from today, simply today. He is again, criticizing the mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, in the aftermath of the terror attack. He tweeted this: "At least 7 dead and 48 wounded in terror attack, and mayor of London says there is no reason to be alarmed." He also tweeted this pathetic excuse by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who had to think fast on his "no reason to be alarmed" statement. MSM, I guess meaning mainstream media, is working hard to sell it. You've been covering Washington for quite some time. This is pretty interesting that a president of the United States would criticize so vehemently the mayor of the largest city in the United Kingdom, our strongest ally.
And a mayor who is dealing with the city that is literally under attack. You're absolutely right. And that I don't think any other president that we've had in history would choose to start a political feud, a war of words over Twitter, no less, than focus on a message of unity and wanting to stand by our allies. This is absolutely remarkable. And I think it risks having Europe continue to sort of push Trump aside and consider him not an ally in anything that they do, whether it's trade, immigration, fighting terrorism. I mean, he just got back from a trip with European leaders, and those European leaders said afterward, well, I think we're going to have to go it alone. Like, I don't know if President Trump is on our side of any of this anymore. And he's just like exacerbating those tensions in a series of tweets. Yeah,
so let's play for our viewers. I want our viewers to get the full context of what is happening here between the President of the United States and the Mayor of London. The President tweeted that earlier statement about the mayor saying that he wants everybody to remain calm. Let's play what the mayor actually said.
Just like terrorists are constantly evolving, finding new ways to disrupt us, harm us, attack us, the police and experts and all of us are finding new ways to keep us safe. Londoners will see an increased police presence today and over the course of the next few days. No reason to be alarmed.
All right, so the president tweeted, and I want to make sure I get this exactly right. He tweeted at least 7 dead and 48 wounded in terror attack, and Mayor of London says there is, quote, no reason to be alarmed. As you just heard, as our viewers just heard, the mayor was essentially saying there will be an increased police presence with men with rifles and automatic weapons, which is an uncommon sight in the capital of the United Kingdom. And then the president tweeted this pathetic excuse by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, who had to think fast on his no reason to be alarmed statement, MSM working hard to sell it. It's clear what the mayor was saying.
Right.
And
right.
I'll let you break it down for us.
Oh, gosh, I don't know how to explain what the president is doing here. I mean, he clearly took the mayor out of context for a political purpose, and that political purpose was trying to get his travel ban reinstated. That speaks to the broader problem here for Europe, is that they feel like the president is using their bloodshed for a political purpose back here in the United States. I just think, I don't know how to explain this. It's not something any president in the past would ever do, and it's not traditionally what we call presidential.
That's one way of putting it. Hopefully we'll get some answers. We know that there is a press briefing that will be delivered by the press secretary later this afternoon. Sarah Huckabee Sanders will be speaking to reporters at approximately 1:30 p.m. Eastern, so we'll hopefully get some answers there. Amber Phillips of the Washington Post, as always, it is so great to have your reporting. We appreciate it.
Thank you.